Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well today. I want to talk about Release the Snyder Cut movement, something that was placed on social media, on Twitter by Fiona Just Sang. So, but first, we begin piece of scripture, as usual. I don't know why I'm in Psalms 119. Actually, I was in some other piece of scripture. I can't remember what it was. Okay, it's Proverbs chapter 6. Proverbs 6, verse 1 says, My son, if you be surety for your friend, if you've stricken your hand with a stranger, and you are snared with the words of your mouth, you have taken in the words of your mouth, do this now, my son. Deliver yourself when you are come into the hand of your friend. Go humble yourself and make surety for your friend. Do not sleep nor slumber. Deliver yourself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, as a bird from the hand of the fowler. If you owe somebody something, get it done. Whatever it is, get it done. So that's what I read today. And I actually had to deal with a situation like that. Concerns two people that I was supposed to do something for. I never got around to doing it. One, I got around to doing it, but I didn't finish it. So yeah. All right. So we're talking about Release the Snyder Cut. This is one of the forms of action that they're going to be doing. You might have heard about the Snail Mail uh, idea that's going to be put into effect. Basically, everybody from all around the world is going to swamp Warner Brothers with mail on a particular day. We're looking at August the 27th, Monday, August the 27th, when all this mail is supposed to come in the same day. A mail will be addressed to the head of DC Films, Walter Hamada, and by sheer numbers, if a lot of us swamp uh, Warner Brothers with this mail, just sheer overwhelming swamping with mail, I'm pretty sure that that will get Warner Brothers' attention. This is what Fiona Zhang basically was saying. All right, so she is trying to pilot a sort of coordinated effort. She said, after our successful online release, the Snyder Cut campaign, we made the world sit up and take notice of us. To take this campaign to the next level, we need to let Warner Brothers and DC know that we're not just some digital entity. We need to show them that we're real people. We believe the best way to do this is with a traditional letter writing, snail mail campaign. Basically, she has a template here you guys could use, or you can personalize it. So this is the template here. It says, Dear Mr. Hamada, my name is, you write in your name, a huge DC fan from wherever. I'm just writing to tell you I'm excited to watch Zack Snyder's director's cut of the DC film Justice League. I would also like to let you know I have spoken to friends and family about the potential of this film. We'd be all thrilled if you would release the Snyder Cut. I'm making a commitment to purchase copies of the film and home video and to encourage many people as I can to do so. I hope that you will see the potential in releasing the true version of the film to the general public, especially for fans who are stuck by DC films through thick and thin. Yours hopefully. Okay. Now, that's just a template. Of course, you can personalize it however you want to. But her whole argument for this is that they used snail mail to push Warner Brothers to release the Donner cut of Superman 2. So she wants to do the same, emulate that. And if you're in different parts of the world, you can write this letter. Now, the letter is to be addressed to. So after writing your letter and placing it in a standard envelope, it's better if you write it by your own handwriting. That'll be really the coolest way, not by typing it out. When you write it with your own handwriting, it shows that you're a real human. So I would suggest if anybody who's here and you're going to take this action, that you do it with handwriting. But however, when you're printing out the label to stick on the envelope, it should say, attention, Mr. Walter Martin Hamada, 4000 Warner Brothers Boulevard, Building 168, Burbank, California, 91522, United States of America. You print that on the outside, of course, of the packaging so they can be sent there. Now, here's some more specific things. for specific parts of the world so that we all send in, and the letter more or less lands somewhere around the 27th. You have to post your stuff on the following dates. So if you're in Brazil, it'll be the 10th of August. Argentina, same thing. China, be the 13th of August. Africa, 13th of August. New Zealand, 10th of August. South Africa, 10th of August. Nigeria, 13th of August. Cameroon, 13th of August. France, 17th of August. Australia, 19th of August. And Sri Lanka. The UK is the 20th. Greece, Mexico, all the same time. Caribbean would be the 21st. Colombia, Uruguay, all the same time. Russia and Hawaii would be the 22nd. Hungary, India, Pakistan, and the rest of the United States. So you can post, depending where you are, on these dates, which California is the 24th if you want. The important thing here is this, that in China, you'll have to use EMS. Pakistan and India, you'll use DHL and FedEx. In South Africa, you use airmail. It's very important to understand that the sooner you do it, the better, okay? But it's important to post it at certain times. Now, I'm in the Caribbean, so I'll post somewhere around the 21st. Now, here's the important thing to remember. You're posting, you're trying to be as positive as possible. If you need to be honest and you need to reprimand, so be it. But it goes on to say some other things, okay? After you've finished your letter, after you've finished with your letter, this is what they want you to do. Okay, here it is. So after you finish posting the letter, she wants each one of you to find at least 3 friends or family members to send a letter to. Now, I don't know what that send a letter to is. I think it's more move this across to them. I don't think it's send a letter to. That would be stupid. So I think it's to let them know and encourage them, depending on if they like the movie or not, encourage them to send a letter as well. Okay, so I think that's what they mean, to encourage them to send a letter as well. That will show that we are also enthusiastic enough to encourage others to buy the Snyder Cut. We also want you to take a selfie with your letter. Take a selfie with your letter. So not take a picture of the letter, take a selfie, you holding the letter in your hand, and post it with hashtag release the Snyder Cut on Twitter. Okay, so you got the letter, you finish the letter, or you have it in an enclosed envelope, whichever you want to do it, and you put hashtag release the Snyder Cut on Twitter. So how do we execute this plan? And she talks about the specifics of that, right? So once you finish your letter, you can do it with a selfie. Take a selfie picture of yourself holding the letter. Post that up on Twitter with hashtag release the Snyder Cut so that everybody knows you posted up your letter. I do encourage you guys to do that. That's a nice course of action, and it shows us united. And again, it shows our share numbers. It shows our purchasing power, so that one of us can quantitate that and get a good picture of it. As well, I do believe Fiona will also, register the people who actually do this. This, again, would be something I would certainly do. I certainly would back my money behind it and so on. So definitely this is a positive way of proceeding as well. But again, I must make a point that I may be negative in how I respond to certain things. I know I've been responding on Twitter and somewhat negative at times, and they've been very abusive about Warner Brothers and their decision-making processes that they've done. If you guys are not on Twitter, I've also circulated a video that one of the Snyder Cut people did, where Zack Snyder is actually speaking about, certain things that would protect directors, and how very much the video shows that these things were violated by committee. So having said all of that, I want to just leave it there, but I can put the link in of the YouTube video below, as well as the link to, I think I'll put that in the description. I'll put the link to this, uh, link to these instructions, so you better can see it in the comment section below, as well as I will also try to put the link to the YouTube video speaking about what Zack Snyder was saying about, uh, you know, always protecting the director. And this is what I think is the bottom line here, that the directors sometimes need protection so that Warner Bros. Doesn't mess with their film. And I think a lot of people have seen, and just very recently on Twitter, Warner Bros. Basically trolled everybody by putting out, I don't know if they thought that was a joke or something. They put out a Green Lantern joke, pick up Green Lantern on Blu-ray, and they had the Green Lantern love sign, and they got the red love sign, in Deadpool. And I'm assuming they're trying to bring some kind of humor, whoever it was that posted that up. It was in a lot of poor taste, because to me, what it shows is that they're willing to go the route of, again, marvelizing the universe. And they're trying to say, well, this is a merger of, raunchy humor, which is Deadpool, and we are just trying to be humorous. And I just find that they're not funny, especially in light of the fact that they haven't released the Snyder Cut and have not commented on it and don't seem to be meditating on it. So I think they know, though. I think they're aware of the backlash that is coming if they don't really, comment on the release of the Snyder Cut. But I also like that Fiona and several other people, like even Dave Ethan, shout out to you, Dave, Dave Ethan and Leroy Kong. There are several different approaches to this. So while I may be very abusive in my approach, for instance, you have the Dave Ethans and the Leroy Kongs, who are very supportive of Warner Brothers and very sort of kind and affectionate towards them, and saying, we want to support you, but please release the Snyder Cut. So you get these different sorts of approaches to the thing. And what happens is that Warner Brothers gets the picture. It's almost like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing going on. And some people are just savage, and other people are refined and supportive and nice. And I think the combination is good. But they must understand the immense amount of pressure people are actually putting on them to release the Snyder Cut. But not only release the Snyder Cut, immense amount of pressure by the fan base, especially, to hold them accountable to, if you pick a director, you need to allow that director to put out their vision without interfering with it. And there's some people like, say, for instance, Trent Osborne, who kind of, he sort of differed in opinion with me on that. But I really strongly believe that if you really want a good film, you will always allow the director the freedom to be creative. It's, as Zack Snyder so correctly said, time and time again, when a studio jumps in and affects what the director is doing, you get a worse off film than if you just let the director do his thing. Rian Johnson right now, he's living and dying by his artistic design of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And some people bashed him for it, and some people praised him for it. I'm one of those who praised him for it. He got extreme reactions, right? He got controversial reactions. But at the end of the day, it was his film. It was his idea. It was his. He owns up to it as his film. It's not, Disney did not interfere with him, and he got to do his film. And to me, there's something pure about that, because now you can't blame Disney. You can't blame anybody. If you have to blame anybody, it's Rian Johnson, right? And what's cool about that to me is when Zack Snyder put out Man of Steel, for example, it was a divisive film, sure, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it was Zack Snyder's film. Whatever creative choices he made, that was his film. And there's something pure about that, because no matter how much you might bash Man of Steel, and very few people are bashing it now as time has gone along, you realize this was definitely Zack Snyder's film. Now, there's something terrible, and that's why these things flop. It's something terrible. You think of Fantastic Four. You think of all the films that really, really, really flopped hard. What happened to those films is the studio said, no, I don't believe in what the director's doing. And they tried to change the tone, or they tried to change something in the film. So Fantastic Four fell. Um, an atrocity of a film. Recently, we had Han Solo, which had one director carrying it through, and then all of a sudden another director carried it through, right? And a lot of people didn't particularly like it. It flopped at the box office. Let's just put it that way. It bombed, not just flopped. It bombed. Okay. Uh, Now, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. You could say what you want about it. Yes, it grossed less. You could say it flopped in a way, but at the end of the day, it didn't bomb. Okay, it did not bomb. You look at Man of Steel. Did not bomb. So when you allow the director to do what they do, people sense that the film may be divisive, but I guarantee you it's good enough that it will never bomb or flop. Generally speaking, when you allow them to have their full vision, except for Blade Runner 2049, which is a fantastic film. I don't think I've heard anybody say that the film was bad, except for this. Again, we have dumbed down fan bases in the world now. So what happens because people say, because this film going experience is so dumbed down, it's kind of hard to appreciate better films that I like. I grew up liking. So what eventually happens is these dumbed down fans don't even understand what went on in Blade Runner 2049. So when I hear them say it was boring, I'm looking at them like, you have to be crazy. You have to be nuts. Blade Runner 2049 is awesome, but it's just a disconnect because some people just don't think that way. They think very simply. And I don't know what they were thinking Blade Runner 2049 was. They probably never watched the original Blade Runner because I don't know what to say. But it is what it is. And a lot of people, you find over and over again that the people who tend not to enjoy these kinds of movies are shallow minded people. They like jokes, lots of jokes and fun in their movies. And, anything that has a joke in it, that's what they think is entertainment. And entertainment is not only that. All right, so I just wanted to share that with you guys and see what else we have here. So if we do like this is the release, the Snyder Cut stuff here. Oh, here you guys are. So let's see here. W. Mir says, yo, what up? W. Mir says, I'm doing it. You're doing what exactly? Oh, well, yeah, it's the letter. Awesome. I'll be positive in the letter. Yeah, try to be as positive as possible, my friend. Be honest, but be positive. W. Mir says, I promise. Love. Dave Ethan says, hi there, Anson. Shout out to you, man, Dave. W. Mir says, what's up, Dave? Dave Ethan says, hey there, William. All right, let's see here. Nice shout out. Nice shout out. Oh, yeah. No problem, man. Dave Ethan says, thanks for the shout out. W. Mir says, Sola had two directors from the first Lego movie. Yes, I know. W. Mir says, then it moved to Ron Howard, who I respect as a director. Yeah, it still didn't bank, though. It didn't bank at all. It just flopped, right? I think it bombed. At the end of the day, what I'm saying to people is that one of the worst things you can do is compromise a movie. Now, the MCU has compromised a number of their movies. That is true. But at the end of the day, this is not the MCU. And if you want the best possible movie you can get, you let a director do what they do. Once you've hired that director and you've allowed that director to go all the way down to almost the end of the film, you don't touch a film like that. You leave it alone. And I think time and time again, these studios, especially Warner Brothers, sadly, of recent times, they weren't doing this all along, by the way. Warner Brothers, not too long ago, uh, and still with certain films, they don't touch the films. They don't harass the filmmakers. They don't mess with the films. All right. But as of late, they have been doing it. So that's not good. It's not good for anyone. It's not good for their company. It's not good for anything. Anywho, that's my time right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll try and get the information to you guys. All right. You guys have a good one. All right. All right. Peace.